Aloha. It's been quite the emotional morning. You know what? I don't even like that word. It's been an emotional sunrise. But I'm out here in the garden. Yesterday I noticed these two plants that I bought, or three plants that I bought from Home Depot. I don't normally purchase plants, especially from a whatever store like that. I propagate from my friends or from what I already have growing and share that way. So the adaptation seems to be, I don't know, it's probably in my head, but the adaptation seems to be easier. When spraying the ferments and the nutrients, the Korean Natural Farming Solutions, I've noticed actually that the plants will either adapt to what the other plants have suggested. I don't know. Like I read all these scientific things, right? And it says that these plants will actually produce chemicals to kill what is trying to kill them, and that we need to stop applying different fertilizers that are, chemically enhanced or produced, outside of the idea of quote unquote natural. But we've really polluted that word natural. Like everything has it on there. They're even calling genetically modified shit natural. So, I want to bring that word back to my center and use it as appropriately as possible. So we do know that the plants will produce whatever they need in order to survive. But when we, when we baby them, if you will, by providing these chemical fertilizers, now they become dependent on them and they don't think for themselves, if you will. But we know that plants can count. We know that plants are hyper intelligent. And by working with the bees, I've learned genetic diversity is one key component in that. You need to allow the bees to mate naturally. And you need to allow the plants to adapt naturally. Now don't get me wrong. All of these plants, I feel extremely connected to. And it might sound weird to you, but I know I'm not their father. However, there's this kind of relationship that feels like that. And, I come out here every day and I'm so selective that even with my pee, I pick different plants to fertilize every time I have to pee. And anyway, a friend shared a wonderful story with me this morning about, about the issues that we have with, father and daughter and abandonment. And whew, wow. Anyway, so this plant here, this salvia, is struggling to stay alive, and as you see, there's this white stuff growing on it. And I won't feed it any fertilizer now. I've sprayed the nutrients though, all over the entire garden, not just these plants. But there's the three of them that I bought from Home Depot. Now, if you look at all my other plants, they're all very happy. There's mushrooms growing, all different kinds of mushrooms growing. Sharing the with with each one of these plants. And I mean, I'd say there's probably 30 different types of mushrooms growing. Wow. All of these different bugs are landing on me. These are a type of fruit fly that look like miniature bees. Anyway, sorry I got distracted. Um, things like this happen semi-regular, walking around in this garden. Honeybees land on me and different kind of... Anyway, now I'm totally distracted. Oh, okay, so here you go. Now this plant appears to be struggling pretty hard. And yesterday I saw a pretty big what do you call it? Snail eating, pretty much eating this whole plant, and it blew my mind. Now, there's some certain plants that I have in the center of this garden that you can't quite see, but there's certain plants that are growing in the center of this garden that when I first noticed, there was dead snails all around them. So what had happened was they had adapted to release a chemical that when the snails tried to start to eat it, it would kill. So, but because I spray the Korean Natural Farming Solutions, I admit there's this part of me that says that at some point they were fed something that they naturally needed so that they could produce that. But now I'm seeing that maybe, just maybe, there's this relationship happening where generationally, okay, all of the plants in this garden, they've adapted. So, I propagate from the current and existing, let's just say farm, okay, to plant new things. And so whatever the mother, let's just say one of these plants is a daughter and there's another one that's a mother. Whatever the mother learned, she passed on to her child. And now, they grow just fine. And then I introduce a new plant, right? The rest of the garden seems to be very happy that I even brought in new plants, right? And they want to share the information so that this plant can now make it. It doesn't mean that every single, like I bought 3 plants. It doesn't mean that all 3 are going to make it. But one of them will. And then when I propagate from that plant that survived, well, the daughter naturally will survive. And it works in both ways. And that's what I'm seeing, like, I know humans aren't plants or bees, but boy, when we really see the inner workings of Mother Nature, we can apply that information to ourselves. And, the trauma that is stored in your body can really stunt your growth, and it's passed on to your children. And then it seems like we have to play out these stories, right? We have to play them all out. And then what happens? The things that you suffered from, your daughter will suffer from. So it's, in my opinion, very important to share these stories and to look deep within. The mushrooms share the information. They share the knowledge. So yeah. If your plants are going to make it, you've got to do the work. Lots of healing today. I love you.